Urgent. Prince William just called out Starmer in a move so explosive that palace insiders are calling it unprecedented in modern royal history. His exact words shocked 2 continents and triggered the biggest constitutional crisis Britain has seen in 50 years. Breaking news from Buckingham Palace. A royal storm like never before. Prince William has called out Prime Minister Keir Starmer, shaking the very foundation of the British monarchy. What really happened behind those golden gates, and why did the future king step directly into the political spotlight? Tonight we dive deep into the drama that has divided the royal family, shocked the political elite, and left the nation asking one burning question: has the monarchy gone too far this time? The story you are about to hear isn't just royal gossip. It's a turning point in modern British history. For decades, the royal family has lived under a code of silence. Politics were never to be discussed. Opinions were never to be voiced. But that silence was shattered the moment Prince William spoke. Sources close to the palace reveal that it began quietly. Subtle disagreements, cautious discussions, hints of tension. But over time, that tension grew into frustration. And then, into something far more powerful. William's patience had reached its limit. Behind the charm and diplomacy lies a man driven by conviction. He had watched decisions being made by the government that, in his view, went against the very values of the United Kingdom. And when he finally spoke, it sent ripples through the establishment. The question is, what exactly did he say? And why now? We start our journey with what the insiders call the moment of truth. One conversation that changed everything. Late one evening, in a private meeting at Clarence House, Prince William expressed his concerns over the government's policies regarding veterans and homelessness, 2 causes close to his heart. His words, reportedly strong yet calm, were directed straight at Starmer himself. Witnesses say the air in the room turned electric. Royal protocol was breaking before their eyes. For William, it wasn't about politics. It was about principle. But to the outside world, it looked like defiance. A royal crossing the invisible line between the crown and the government. And once the words left his lips, there was no going back. For months, whispers traveled through the palace corridors. Advisors exchanged nervous glances. Aides tried to keep things quiet. But the story was too big to contain. Insiders claimed the disagreement had been building for years. Prince William, increasingly involved in social initiatives, had grown frustrated with what he saw as the government's lack of action on issues like climate change, mental health, and homelessness. He believed that moral leadership, not just political calculation, was needed. But his view put him on a collision course with Downing Street. As the tension rose, King Charles remained cautious. He understood the delicate balance between monarchy and government, having spent his life mastering restraint. Yet even he could feel the shift in the air. The younger generation of royals was no longer content to stay silent. William's aides begged him to reconsider. "Your Royal Highness, you must be careful," one advisor reportedly said. A single word can cause a political earthquake. But William was resolute. "If leadership means silence," he replied, "then maybe it's time to redefine leadership." Soon after, a private discussion between William and Starmer found its way to the media. At first, it was only a whisper. But within hours, the whisper became a roar. Headlines blazed across the world. Prince William challenges Starmer over government policy. The palace scrambled to respond, but the damage was already done. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere turned icy. Calls between the palace and Downing Street became short and formal. The once polite distance between monarchy and politics was now a wall of tension. Social media erupted. Hashtags like #RoyalRebellion and #William vs Starmer dominated the internet. The public was divided. Some praised William's courage to speak for the people. Others condemned him for overstepping his royal boundaries. Meanwhile, inside the palace, the mood was anxious. Kate, the Princess of Wales, was said to be torn. She admired her husband's courage, but worried about the consequences. Every public appearance now carried hidden weight. Every smile, every silence, was analyzed for clues. As the days passed, the tension grew thicker. The monarchy was no longer an untouchable symbol. It was suddenly a living, breathing institution, caught in a political storm. And that storm was about to break wide open. The moment the news hit the airwaves, chaos consumed the palace. King Charles, reportedly furious. Camilla, caught off guard. Senior staff called for immediate crisis meetings. Inside Buckingham Palace, phones rang non-stop. Advisors rushed between rooms. Journalists camped outside the gates, waiting for a statement that never came. For the first time in decades, a royal had publicly challenged the sitting prime minister. The unwritten rule of royal neutrality, the sacred boundary that separated crown and government, had been shattered. Every newspaper had a headline. Prince William speaks out. Palace in turmoil. Royal rebellion rocks Britain. The BBC ran hour-long specials. Talk shows buzzed with speculation. Was William right to speak? Or had he jeopardized the monarchy itself? Behind the palace walls, alliances began to shift. Some courtiers quietly supported William's bravery. They admired his honesty, his modern approach, his emotional intelligence. Others saw danger, a threat to the monarchy's stability. The split was real. The royal family had never been more divided. As the tension escalated, public opinion swung wildly. Polls showed that younger Britons overwhelmingly supported William's boldness. They saw him as a voice of conscience. Older generations, however, viewed his move as reckless, even disrespectful to the traditions of the crown. In the eye of the storm, Kate remained calm, but deeply troubled. Friends say she encouraged William to stay strong, yet she feared how this would affect their children's future. Meanwhile, King Charles faced an impossible choice. To defend his son would risk political fallout. To rebuke him would break the family in public. For days, Charles said nothing. But the silence only made things worse. By week's end, the monarchy stood at a crossroads. Centuries of royal tradition versus the unstoppable tide of modern transparency. And all of it sparked by one man's refusal to stay silent. Urgent. Prince William just called out Starmer in a move so explosive that palace insiders are calling it unprecedented in modern royal history. His exact words shocked 2 continents and triggered the biggest constitutional crisis Britain has seen in 50 years. Then came the quiet. Days passed. No official comment, no public statement. Just whispers and speculation. Inside the palace, strategy sessions stretched late into the night. Every sentence of a potential statement was debated, polished, and then discarded. The royal family knew that one wrong word could trigger another wave of outrage. Prince William, meanwhile, stood firm. He refused to retract or clarify his remarks. Friends close to him said he believed it was time for the monarchy to reflect the voice of the people, not just stand above it. Keir Starmer's office tried to downplay the situation, calling it a private exchange misinterpreted by the press. But few believed it. The damage was done. As silence hung over the palace, the media filled the void. Talk shows, podcasts, and newspapers debated the future of the monarchy. Could William's words mark the beginning of a new royal era, one where the crown engages directly with the people? Or was this the start of the monarchy's slow decline? On social media, millions took sides. Hashtags trended daily. Memes flooded the internet. Protesters gathered outside Parliament with signs reading, "Let William speak," and "Keep politics out of the palace." Even celebrities weighed in. Some praised the prince as a, quote, voice of moral courage. Others warned that his actions had opened Pandora's box. Amid the chaos, Queen Camilla reportedly urged unity, reminding the family that public confidence was their greatest strength. Her words echoed through the palace halls, but tension still lingered. Through it all, William remained quiet, but resolute. He continued his royal duties, smiling for cameras, shaking hands, visiting charities. But behind those calm eyes, a storm still brewed. Then, an extraordinary moment occurred. During a charity speech weeks later, William subtly addressed the controversy without naming names. Leadership, he said, is not about silence in the face of what is right. It's about standing firm, even when it's uncomfortable. The room fell silent. Those words made headlines worldwide. The message was clear. He wasn't backing down.